Hi there, it's me again. Today I'm doing a pretty huge video. I'm going to do all the Gyaru girls from Yandere Similar. Now, before we I am actually getting started right now, as you can see in the video, but before we really get into the commentary, I actually really like the Gyaru girls designs a lot. I don't have a problem with them at all. I do think that the style of Gyaru that they use is super outdated. He's definitely going for a Ganguro look, and that's extremely outdated. But so I decided to change them into just a little bit. I started off with Musume, and I didn't really change her design too much. I actually wanted to keep with the Kogal theme and the dark skin and not the dark skin, but the tan skin and the blonde hair. But I feel like the Ganguro look that she's going for is really outdated, and the other girls get really Ganguro. When it comes to Gyaru is pretty outdated as it is. It's not super popular anymore. It's back to a niche. It's a niche design, not design, but fashion these days. But especially Ganguro, that's definitely not super popular anymore. It was an extremely 90s thing. So I decided to give her a cardigan instead of the wrapped around her waist. I actually do like that, but I really have you ever seen Kogal looks? They have the cardigan with the really mini skirt, and I thought that looked really cute. So I just went with a cardigan and a super mini because a lot of Gyaru are known for rolling up their skirts to make themselves look a little bit cuter, more stylish. And I also gave her a lot more phone charms to her and accessories, just made her a little bit more decked out. Like I said, she's actually the gal I changed the least as far as the Gyaru go. Gyaru go, not Gyaru go I don't know, it's a whole word. Well, as far as the Gyaru characters go, she's the one I actually changed the least because she's the one. Well, I decided to just go with Kogal, kind of keep her at her roots. So I didn't really have a problem with any of them. One thing that does bother me about the Gyaru in this game, though, is that I find it kind of silly that they're meant to be the bullies and they're presenting as sweet and innocent, but they're secretly mean. I don't really like bully characters in general when it comes to Gyaru, because, like I said, I love Gyaru, and I just am tired of, the bully characters being Gyaru. But the secretly mean thing is the thing that kind of throws me off here. And I can explain why. Is the stereotype for Gyaru is that they're very, they're loose party girls. They're, really aggressive and, outspoken and loud. And presenting as innocent isn't actually a stereotype that you would have for a Gyaru, because most people would automatically assume that they're already mean and catty and stuff like that. So I think it's a kind of silly thing, but I kind of get why it is that, and it's definitely because Yandere Dev is a very anime weeaboo guy, and he's American clearly, and I feel the blonde hair as innocence is a more American trope. If you the blonde hair, and then, the Malibu Barbie tan that she has with, the airheadedness, that's a very American, that's kind of an American trope, too. And the Ganguro and, Gyaru, they go against beauty standards in Japan, so while, the pale white skin and the dark hair is kind of a beauty standard and, innocence and all that, in Japan, the opposite of that would be a Gyaru, so it doesn't make that much sense to me. And there are blonde characters in anime who are very, innocent and sweet, but usually it's, natural blonde hair, which, if it's a Gyaru, they very clearly have bleached blonde hair. And if you've seen a lot of different anime, Tsunohara from Clannad, they always point out that his hair is weird looking despite them having, colorful hair in this show. And it's because his hair is bleached. And same thing, Hatsuharu in Fruits Basket, if you remember, the scene is pretty infamous where the character is your hair is really weird and I'm going to get to the bottom of this and prove that you're breaking the rules by dyeing your hair. Because, it's a kind of a delinquent thing to bleach your hair in Japan. So a character with bleached blonde hair is probably going to be seen as a bad boy or a bad girl, which is why Sunahara and Hatsuharu are both seen as delinquents in their respective shows. And personally, like I said, I don't really like that the gals are meant to be the bullies, but I do like their designs a lot. Like, I just really love gal characters. And if you want to see, like, nice gal characters, you could watch something like, what's the one called? Gyaru-chan, you can watch her, or, yeah, Please Tell Me Galco, or you can watch Super Gals, which, that one does have an issue with, like, the Ganguro girls being, like, the bullies, but it's an otherwise, like, really good look into, like, gal culture, and it talks about, like, gal things. It's really good anime. I didn't finish it, and I probably should. But yeah, basically, I didn't really do much to her design, so I'm basically talking about the things I don't really like about them, which is more their character rather than their actual designs. I do think their style of gal is kind of outdated, and I do wish that they actually went with different styles of gal, although I can see why he didn't really do it, because they're in high school, so co-gal, but we're going to get to it. I think that you can do something pretty interesting anyways. Okay, so the next character that I ended up doing is Kashko, I think her name is, and this is where I started having fun with it. I said that I really wanted to do something interesting and different with their designs besides the Kogals, and this is where I kind of went in with that. So with Kashko, I saw her purple colors, and with the purple color, I kind of associate that with the Aikatsu idols, what is it called? The sexy type, which is like the mature type. And a lot of Aikatsu's sexy type idols actually take inspiration with their brands from, I think it's pronounced Agejo style or Ageho. Like, there's one specifically in Aikatsu called Spicy Ageha and Dolly Devil, which are basically those kinds of styles of Gyaru. So with that, I decided to go for that kind of style for Kashko. And when I looked, there's a Twitter called Gyaru of the Day, and they have a thread dedicated to different types of Gyaru and the key elements that make them unique. So OP of that thread describes the style that I'm going for as a glamorous and feminine style. They wear tighter clothes, lacy aspects. It's like kind of like a super sexy kind of like mature-ish style, and obviously I can't do that with a school uniform. But I did want to take elements from that kind of style and give it to Kashko. So I gave her a more form-fitting cardigan, and I gave it purple. And I gave her a shorter skirt with lace peeping out. And one thing I gave her also was like a very large chest bow instead of the regular tie, which is something I've done for a few other characters, is giving them a bow instead of a tie. But specifically for her, I took inspiration directly from a model's outfit that I've seen on Google and Twitter and stuff. So I'll put a picture of that so you can see exactly what I'm like referencing here. She's also one of the few designs where I went for the thigh highs again, because I noticed a lot of, I think, Ageho or Agejo Gyaru wear either thigh high boots or thigh high socks, and boots are definitely a bit much for a school uniform. I am taking quite a few liberties with the school uniforms. And that's honestly partly because I just think it's funny for a school to have uniforms that most of the characters definitely test their luck with. Like, Revolutionary Girl Utena wears the boys' uniform, quote unquote, but it's not actually the boys' uniform for her own school. So I think that's kind of a funny trope. So I'm definitely having the characters test their limits with their own uniforms, but I think boots definitely would have been a bit much. I did give her like fancier loafers and like just added lots of decorations to her bag and stuff like that, just to make her look a lot more like glamorous, feminine, chic. She's definitely the more girlier. They're all pretty girly, but she's one of the girlier ones. I added gold chains to her loafers, which I've also referenced from some real life loafers that I've seen that have like chains over the straps to look a little bit fancier. So she does wear the loafers, but hers are just fancy loafers. And one of the things that I decided to change between the Gyaru is give them slightly different skin and hair tones. Basically just to add some variation. They do have differences in their hair, I've noticed like after the fact, but I decided to like give them different levels of bleached hair, because a lot of Gyaru either have like, some of them have bright blonde hair, but some of them have like bleached brown hair, some of them have red hair. So I decided to like give her a less bright blonde, and her hair and skin do kind of blend in with each other, but I actually do think that's kind of pretty with like the similar colors. I don't know, like I actually do think that's kind of pretty. Like, you've seen like characters with like very pale skin and like light hair, or like very dark skin and dark hair. I do think that's pretty. So overall, her style is like a mix between the initial style I'm going for, but also Kogal, because they are in a school and I'm trying to test the limits of the actual uniform that I can do. So it's kind of like a challenge for myself to change the uniform to suit their individual styles, but still make it look like it's a school uniform rather than like a character just dressing however they want. Because I could have given them like their character portraits being outside of the school. Like, they do have casual clothing, if I remember correctly. Like, I know that Ayano does. It's like a teal top with like short shorts and something like that. So I could have given them, but I decided to try to test my limits with the actual style that they have to wear to school. So yeah, I actually didn't change her style too much, but I slowly do, over the course of these designs, get a little bit crazy. And you might have noticed the sketches peeping. Yeah, those are video spoilers. I do end up, did all of the sketches at once, and then I went one at a time with the thing is the thing. The thing is the thing. But yeah, that's just one of the things that I changed. A lot of people have been requesting different characters, so if you have a request for different character that I can do next, and I'm not going in order, I'm just going by whoever I just feel like drawing, go ahead and drop it in the thing. Like I said, there's quite a few characters I do like the designs for, so it's like in the Gyaru, it's definitely not, I wouldn't consider it like a redesign like I did with Osana, where I just hated Osana's design. It's more of like a reimagining for me. Like with Oka, I really loved Oka's design. So it's more of a reimagining rather than an outright redesign. So I imagine if these designs could coexist with the existing ones, I guess, because I do really like them. But I also like the old ones too. But this is also like a bias. I do particularly like, you'll notice that the characters whose tropes I particularly like, I end up quite liking their designs. And I'm not a fan of Tsunderes, but I love Gyarus. And yeah, changed up. I did the nails. That was pretty fun. If you want to know how I do sparkles, it's pretty similar to how I do eyes, where I just add an add layer of the sparkles. It's not that complicated. Alright, so next up I ended up doing, I believe her name is Kokoro. I was going to call her Kashko again. We're like, wait a minute. I'm recording the voiceovers as I go because I'm not done with all the designs as I'm actually recording this one. Spoilers. But for Kokoro, I ended up going for, I just got a notification. Congrats on 1,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool because I just got 3,000 on my Twitter. Anyways, for Kokoro, I went for Himegal. And basically, like, I saw the pink on her, and when I see pink, I think princesses, especially with her design specifically. She has a whole lot of, like, she has the curls, she has, like, the elegant, or the cutesy pose. She looks very, like, princessy to me. So I went for, like, a Himegal. And if you don't know what Himegal is, you probably figured it out by now. It basically means princess with gal. And I tried to keep her kind of similar appearance, but like I definitely went over the top with the hair, and I feel like her hair looks more like an OTT Lolita cord than actual Himegal. But then I'm thinking about it, and a lot of Himegal hair is really huge, so for her, she did give me a little bit more trouble because I couldn't really figure out how I wanted to do like her outfit. Like, how would I make a uniform look princess like? And I've actually done it before with my OC Clover, for her uniform, I just completely customized her uniform and gave her like more Lolita type uniform, kind of like, you know how Celeste Ludenberg from Danganronpa, her uniform, like all the Danganronpa characters wear uniforms if you weren't aware, and Celeste wears like the Lolita cord. That's basically like her customized uniform, and that's what I did for Clover. But I didn't really want to do it for her because I felt like, again, that might have been a little bit too much. I don't know, like maybe I will do like another art drawing of the Gyarus, or at least of my Gyaru designs, because like I said, I love them. And maybe I'll like do like different outfits and stuff like that, or give them like even more crazier uniforms. I don't know. But for now, I had trouble figuring, because I was like kind of a challenge for myself to like keep within the constraints of like the uniform. And yeah, for her, I changed her hair quite a bit. I added lots of hair decks in there, big bows, roses. Like if you're going for princesses, you need to add like the roses, the lace, the ribbons. You gotta add that stuff. Well, you don't have to, but it helps a lot. And for her bow, I gave her a more ruffly one instead of a more, the classic tie. I am going to give some of the characters the tie. Just the ones I've done so far, I felt like the bow fit better. And yeah, with like the pleated skirt, I wanted to give her ruffles, but then I changed my mind. With her pose, though, I feel like her poses really helps sell it, that she's a more princessy type, and I ended up giving her tights instead of thigh highs or socks because, well, I could have given her ruffle socks now that I think about it, but tights kind of give me a more elegant vibe, more refined vibe. It feels like that's something a princess would wear, tights, more often. And I ended up but I also wanted her to be cute and sweet, so I gave her the more cutesy hair decks and all that. I customized her phone more than anybody else's. I didn't really like doing the phones, to be completely honest. But that's part of their personality, is the hair, not the hair. Oh my god, I'm just hypnotized by the hair. The personality they have is the phone addict, so I feel like I had to keep the phones on them even if I changed most of their design. And I ended up giving her Mary Janes instead of loafers because I felt like, well, a lot of them I seen were wearing straight up heels when I looked up Himegyaru, but I felt like the Mary Janes kind of sold the idea of a princess too without being a little bit too fancy. And for her, I ended up darkening her skin a little bit, and I gave her a darker bleached color because I felt like that I wanted some variation, like I said. And honestly, with hers, the implication is more that that's her natural skin tone, but maybe she did tan, because if you're brown or dark skin, you can tan, so she probably did tan a little bit. So one of the things people are bugged about is the fact that I changed the skin tone, which I find a little bit hypocritical because it's a redesign. So why is that an issue, but not the fact that I changed a character's age, or that I changed a character's hair color or eye color or something, or their height? If I change their weights, I might end up, but I'm not really sure who I would do that to yet. But if I changed a character's weight or something like that, or made them chubbier, actually, I feel like people would have an issue with me making a character chubbier, which doesn't, it's not that serious, guys. But yeah, I feel like it's kind of hypocritical to be okay with one aspect of a redesign. It's a redesign, it's automatically, changing something about the character. And I do think that there could be more disrespectful redesigns, and when it comes to Yandere Simulator, though, I feel like the way we're doing this is already inherently disrespectful because a lot of people just straight up don't respect Yandere's dev. But, okay, I swear, I am doing, when it comes to Gyaru, I do legitimately love their designs. But, yeah, I feel like if it's the disrespect, I feel like a lot of people already just don't respect Yandere dev when they're doing the designs. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. But, yeah, with her, one thing that does bother me is
well, it's not really bothering me. I just think it's funny is that when I changed her design, I feel like I just reinvented Clover again, which is kind of like a joke with me, is that every time I'm trying to make a princessy character, I reinvent my OC Clover over and over and over again, and it's like it's a disease in my brain. I just can't stop drawing Clover. But like I am having fun. And I tried to change her a little bit. She's not too Clovery, I think. As far as like this one is, I'm not sure if this one's my favorite one, because there's one that I think is a lot more fun. But she is one of the ones that I enjoyed. Well, I enjoyed all of them, so but she's not my favorite, although she is my favorite design, but not the one that I had that I think was my favorite one to redesign, because I really like what I did with her, and I'm biased towards this type of style, but you know. Yeah, if you actually have any requests when it comes to characters, let me know, because I am paying attention to which ones people request, and I will make a video soon with a few of the requests that I've already received. This one is taking a little bit of time because I'm doing 5 characters instead of like 2 or 3, so this one's a pretty big one. But maybe next week or in the upcoming next few days, depending on how fast it takes for me to finish the other ones, I'll do any requests that you guys have. And I guess that could be like the 1K celebration.
Alright, so I did say that I had a favorite one that I had to draw, and it's actually this one. Sorry that there's no sketch footage. When I tried to record the sketch, because I record on my iPad, and I checked it, and then it said that it just couldn't save it, and I wasn't going to just go out of my way and just sketch the character. Like, that's a little bit much. So I really couldn't. I don't have the footage for this sketch. I do have the footage for the other sketches, though, just not this one. And for her, this one's the one I had the most fun with. I saw her, like, bright yellow and orange. She looks very, like, islandy and fruity. And when I went with her, like, look to her, I thought she kind of reminds me of the amekaji look, which is basically American casual. And the vibe of that one is that it's like American casual, like a stereotype of America. And like in Japan, they see Americans as like loud and like bright and colorful. So that's what the vibe is for her. And when I saw her, like, I went with like, I'm like gonna go all in with the brightness. And when I saw her honestly, her style reminded me of JK from Kamen Rider 4. I was like, oh my god, I bet they would shop at the same store. And for her, I took a lot of inspiration from the Aikatsu brand Vivid Kiss, which I didn't even realize until looking through the thread that Vivid Kiss actually is like amekaji inspired. I didn't even realize that. I feel like a kind of a dum-dum for not realizing it. But I didn't even know about amekaji until like last week, to be completely honest. But yeah, I went with like, this one is like the brightest of the bunch, and I feel like her design is very Ganguro. Like, out of all the characters, she's the most Ganguro inspired look, which is like, I suppose, but like I said, I wanted to change the Ganguro because it's very outdated, and I feel like she would be but she would still like the bright colors. So for her, I went with something that was equally bright. And like I usually do, I changed the skin and hair tone variation just a little bit. I gave her a slightly lighter tan, but a much more strawberry blonde, like reddish. I wanted to go with red, but it kind of clashed with the colors I was doing with her hair. So I went with more strawberry blonde because, like, you know, the islandy, the colors, it's very colorful. It pops. This one's the one I definitely had the most fun with because, like, these eye-searing colors it's just fantastic. And I actually went with the regular tie because I felt like the regular tie really suited the style. Like, a bow could have worked, but I feel like the regular tie kind of worked with this one a lot better.
And I know this one's supposed to be the orange one, but when I think of orange and yellow, I think of just bright pop. So I really went all in with the colors. And, like, I had this one I just had a blast with. Like, I just picked, like, as many eye-searingly bright colors. And I know people are going to be like, my eyes, I hate this, it's too bright. I don't care, it's so much fun. Like, live a little and draw something as bright and searingly and, like, oh my god, it's just burning your eyes as possible. It's fun. I like sometimes dress in colors like that. I bought myself a beanie propeller hat with a little frog on it like 2 days ago, and I've been walking around the house with it like a little cartoon child. It's fun. It's like really fun. So you should like have some fun with the colors sometimes, even if it's a little bit different. And if it's like out of your comfort zone, if it's something you're just not used to, I would give it a shot. Like, it's always fun to challenge yourself. But this is what I am used to. If you've seen my other art, like, this is my area. This is my zone. And, like, I was really tempted to give her, like, stickers on the face and, like, all kinds of stuff. But I'm like, okay, maybe this is getting a little bit too crazy for a school uniform. But I really wanted to. But, yeah, for Hana, it was just a whole lot of anything bright I could think of. This one is just the most fun. And I know a lot of people kind of think Amekaji is like an ugly style of Gyaru, but it's like the most fun to me. It's very fun. It's very cute. It's very wild. Her hair, like, I went with the hair wild, crazy. Twin tails are very cutesy to me, but like the hair is very wild. It kind of reminds me of Junko and Yoshima from Danganronpa. If you haven't realized, I've been a pretty big fan of Danganronpa, although I never played V3 or Ultra Despair Girls. I did watch the Danganronpa 3 anime, and I played SDR2 and the original. And I read Danganronpa 0, I believe. I read a few of the light novels or the side stories. I haven't done it in a while, though. And I'm getting quite a few notifications, so if I, like, trail off, it's because while I'm recording this, I keep getting notifications from my YouTube from these videos. So, like I said, I am seeing them. I am viewing what you guys say. If you guys get, like, too rude, I will delete the comments. Like, I don't have a problem with people saying, like, oh, I don't like the design, but some of y'all get a little bit kind of rude about it, so I have deleted. Oh my god, some of you guys are so funny. I just got another really cute comment. But yeah, I just checked, and I have 1,368 subscribers, and I could have sworn that when I started this I had 500, so you guys are insane. And please, like, oh my god, yesterday this one doubled in views. Oh my god. Yesterday though, I viewed it and it was like 7K, and now it's 14K. So, but please view my other videos too. Like, I do want to, like, draw more stuff besides Yandere Similar. I'm going to try to do more tutorials. I'm going to, like, do more, like, how to draw different things. A lot of people ask me for hair, so I'm going to do hair. A lot of people ask me, like, how I design black characters or dark skin characters. And I have been doing tutorials, like I said, on that. And I'm doing, like, a really big one. Not a video, though, but I might make a video just on, like, tips and tricks for it. Okay, and the last character that I ended up doing was Mizudori she's just a green Gyaru, and there was really no rhyme or reason behind her design. It's just I really, 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 really wanted to do an Ora Ora Gyaru. And Ora Ora is basically like tough girl Gyarus. Like, they're tough, they're kind of like have a delinquency style to them. And like, I don't see it very often in media, so I really wanted to do one. Like, I just found out about them around the same time I found about Amekaji, and I was like, oh, this one is so cool. I saw someone in the comments before, like, not in my videos, just on some comments in, like, online, saying that they call Ora Ora Gyarus Yankee Gyarus, which is really funny to me, like, delinquent Gyaru. That's cute. But yeah, I went with that, and she has, like, the most changes to her design. Like, I gave her pin straight hair and changed her uniform. Like, basically I just added like a bomber jacket, I think it is, like the kind of sporty jackets. I gave her a shaved head. I gave her fingerless gloves. The scrunchy socks and the shoes are basically the same, but I like changed a lot about her just to work with that kind of style. And
she doesn't have that many, like, hair decorations or anything because her hair is straight and it's down, so in order to make up for that, I ended up giving her more jewelry and stuff. And I tried to give her a more drastic appearance to her makeup and stuff, too. And you can tell that she's based off of Rina Fujimoto from Idolmaster. Like, basically the hair is Rina's to a T, almost. But, yeah, I took a lot of inspiration from her, specifically because I found out she's Ora Ora Gyaru. I didn't know that for a while. And since she's the one I know about, like, from my followers and friends who post a lot on Idolmaster, I decided to take a lot of inspiration from her. So I hope they really enjoy seeing this character. I feel like they would. And she still has the cell phone, because, like I said, she's the phone addict type, so I put the cell phone in, like, her hand, like, not quite out. She has a more sporty pose, a more tough girl pose. But I did add the same kind of keychains, but hers has a little skullet and, like, a 4-leaf clover and a little wolf thing that I add later on. Because I added all that stuff because, like, she's still cute. She's still a Gyaru, so I wanted to, like, give her some style to her. But, yeah, there's, like, she's the one who changed the most, and I feel like people are probably going to have a problem with that, but I feel like I'm still valid for this. Like I said, I didn't have a problem with her original design. It's just I really wanted to mix things up, and this is the one that I ended up mixing up the most, I feel like. And I did give her sneakers at first, but I changed it to loafers because I hate drawing sneakers. If you've seen for Hana, like, her sneakers were an absolute train wreck. I just hated drawing sneakers. And at first I was going to give her bright green. There's, like, a model that I've seen who usually has, like, bright colors on her shaved head that I thought looked pretty cool. It also kind of reminds me of Venus McFlytrap, I think her name is, from Monster High. But I didn't like how it was looking, so I just scrapped it. Like, the bright, colorful undercut, and I didn't really like it on this specific character. So I just went with, like, her natural hair, which, like, I feel like does help make her look like, yeah, this is a girl who dyes her hair, because you see her natural hair is black. And, like, I gave her the same basic, like, it's just sparkly phone and all that. I gave her a slightly lighter tan, as you can see, though. And, like, hers is, like, barely toasted, honestly. And I made her hair bleached much, much brighter than the other characters. And I changed her eye makeup. At first, I was going to give her the classic sparkles that I've been doing. But I decided that since she didn't have much going on, I would give her, like, a leopard print to make her pop and stand out and look kind of funky. And I feel like that worked. Because, like, there's not really much going on with her design, like, changing from, like, the colors. Like, the other characters have all kinds of stuff. She just has, like, the same basic colors and then, like, a jacket, and that's it. So I wanted to give her something that makes her stick out and, like, look like she's still part of the group. So, like, the makeup works a lot. And I wonder, like, how... I feel like a group of Gyaru who have different styles could work, at least in a cartoon. Like, they have all their different styles, like, but they still get along because they're all Gyaru and they read, like, Gyaru magazines and they do each other's makeup and stuff like that. I don't know where the bullying would come in because, like I said, I don't like Gyaru bullies very much. And at this point, you can see that I, like, completely forgot to, give her nails, so I just did it at the last second, and it's not that nice. But yeah, if you guys have any more suggestions for characters, please let me know. I keep saying it, but, like, I'm not gonna be doing these characters designs forever. I'm gonna do other stuff. And, like, if you want some tutorials and stuff too, that's one that I'm probably gonna do more often is tutorials and stuff. Maybe just, like, make rambling videos too, just, like, talking about random stuff. I do like to talk. It's fun. Yeah, I kind of rushed the shoes, as you can see. I really don't like coloring shoes. I'll do it if I have to, though. But yeah, I almost called her Rina. Oh my god. I can't remember her name. It's Mizudori something. But yeah, she's almost done, basically. And this is all the Gyarus all together. Yay! Like, I feel like they kind of look like a cohesive group, but not really. Mizudori definitely sticks out the most to me. But also, so does Hana. Dadayama, she stands out quite a bit. But yeah, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, share it with your friends and all that good stuff. If you want to see different videos, let me know what kind of characters you would like to see. Let me know what characters you would like to see me redesign, because I am listening and I am like taking in consideration your suggestions. And I might do it in the next video. Who knows? If you want to see like a completely different art character design video, or like a completely different like character from a different show or game or whatever, let me know too. And thank you guys so much for 1,300 and whatever many subscribers. Hope you enjoy your day. Love you. Stay safe. Goodbye. Mwah.